Welcome back to Healing Your Heart, Yoga and Meditation for Grief and Loss. My name is Joan Ordilli. I supervise Samaritan's bereavement program. Today's yoga practice will focus on the Heart Chakra, also known as the Anahata. The fourth chakra, or Heart Chakra, is associated with the color green. Consider the green of a lush spring day. It's located at the center of the chest and affects the heart, the lungs, the arms and hands, the shoulders, and the upper back. It's also associated with our thymus gland and the immune system. The fourth chakra is located physically at the center of the lower three and upper three chakras. It connects our physical self to our spiritual self. It connects earth to sky. In grief and loss, the fourth chakra can be highly impacted. Consider the proverbial broken heart. A balanced fourth chakra allows us to feel compassion for ourselves and for others. It allows us to give and receive love and support, to cultivate kindness and forgiveness. Today, our practice will focus on balancing the fourth chakra. It will include forward bending and back bending, some heart opening poses. I'm going to remind you again to take the practice at your own pace, to not push your body into poses that don't feel safe and comfortable for you. As with the other videos, I'll be demonstrating a floor to standing practice as well as a practice that is mainly done from a chair with some standing poses as well. Let's get started with today's fourth chakra practice.
We'll be using some props for today's practice. So a yoga blanket or towel rolled up and a couple of yoga blocks or books. And if you happen to have a bolster for later in the practice, that would be great too. But again, it's not necessary. So let's begin today's practice. The fourth chakra with 3 rounds of 3-part breath, inhaling into the abdomen, the lower ribs and upper ribs, and exhaling from the top down and pulling the belly button towards the spine at the bottom of the exhale. And again. One more. And let's begin to transition onto our backs. So I'm going to be demonstrating with a rolled up blanket. Again, you can be using a rolled towel, or if you have a more advanced practice, you might want to use yoga blocks. So reclining with the heart area on the roll, and I'm going to demonstrate 3 different leg positions, but let's start with the feet on the floor. The arms are in cactus, so coming straight out from the shoulders, backs of the arms, backs of the hands on the floor. The roll is positioned so that you can breathe comfortably, but around about the bottom of your shoulder blades. Placing the feet out to the edges of the mat and letting the knees fall together is one expression of the pose. So this would be a variation of resting pose, and you can stay here if this is comfortable for you and comfortable for your lower back. Another variation would be with the soles of the feet together and the knees falling out to the side, and reclined bound angle pose. Tucking blocks under the knees would make it a little bit more of a restorative experience as well. You may decide this is a good expression for your pose today. Or stretching the legs along the mat, keeping them lightly engaged with the toes pointing to the ceiling. And let's just take a few more breaths here in this heart opening pose. If your mind starts to wander, please bring it back with your breath. In grief and loss, we often physically start to hunch our shoulders forward, almost as if we're protecting the heart. This asana is a wonderful counterbalance to that tendency to close the heart during grief. And take one more breath in and out. Place the feet on the floor and roll off to the side. Moving any props off the mat. Coming into tabletop and dropping down onto the forearms. So I'm going to demonstrate a wonderful shoulder and upper back opening stretch, and also give you a couple of options. So inhale, lift the right arm, and as you exhale, take it behind the left arm. Now you might want to use a block or make a fist here for your forehead, or you might want to place the forehead on the floor and stretch the left arm out. Any of those variations is fine. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. And breathe into this wonderful expanse across your upper back and shoulders. Bring the left hand back to the floor. Push yourself up. Come down onto the forearms. Opening the left arm and threading it behind the right. Again, you can use a fist or a block for your head. You can keep the right arm bent, or you can place the forehead on the floor and stretch the right arm out. Again, be mindful of the shoulders moving away from the ears, and just enjoy the stretch. One more breath. The right hand comes back so that it can push up. And again, we're going to come down onto the forearms and all the way to the floor. Coming into Sphinx pose. If this is a little bit too much for your upper back, move those elbows out to the sides of the mat. I'll be demonstrating from this position. So shine the heart forward and breathe. The tailbone should be pointed towards the floor, and the bottom half of the body relaxed as much as possible. Open heart. One more breath. Moving the arms out And stacking the fists, placing the forehead on the fists, and bending the knees, and moving the feet back and forth like a windshield wiper. You could also place your head just on folded hands. This releases the lower back. Place the feet back on the floor, and let's come into Cobra pose. So this is a very wonderful pose for, again, opening up the heart area, strengthening the abdominals, and strengthening the back. So the hands are placed with the fingers spread under the shoulders. You can start with the forehead on the floor. This is a small movement, a baby cobra. So on an inhale, stretching the back, lifting the head, lifting the neck, lifting the shoulders. Your neck should be a natural extension of the spine, so you may not be looking in the upward position. Your gaze may be towards the floor. And breathe. Engage your abdominal muscles. One more breath. And exhale. For those of you who are newer to yoga, I'm going to ask you just to repeat the same pose. For those who have a more regular practice and would like to come up a little higher in Cobra, once again, with the fingers spread and the hands under the shoulders, moving length into the spine and lifting the chest, lifting the heart forward. Shoulders are on the back and breathing. Exhale, come down. Again, make those fists or make a little pillow with your backs of your hands. Bend the knees and windshield wiper the legs. Placing the feet back on the floor, let's transition back to tabletop for a few rounds of cat-cow. So the wrists are under the shoulders, the knees are under the hips. If possible, tops of the feet are on the floor. Have a nice spread to your fingers. Imagine that they're starfish. And imagine a little suction cup in the palms of your hands, giving an energetic lift up the arms. Placing some of the weight in the pads of the palms near the fingers as well as the fingers. And on an inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the heart, drop the belly. Exhale into cat, lifting the upper back, looking through the legs and dropping the tailbone. And again, inhale and exhale. Continuing 2 more rounds of cat-cow. Waking up the spine and enjoying the movement. Inhale to a neutral spine. And let's move the knees to the edges of the mat. Now, if you'd like to use a block for child's pose, that's absolutely fine. Bringing the hips back to the heels, maybe or maybe not catching the block. Arms can be outstretched, or you can make the fists and place your head on the fists, or coming into a restorative version with the arms down by the sides, palms up, and the forehead on the floor. And breathe. Pushing up out of the pose. And let's transition into a low lunge to continue opening the heart chakra. So again, I'm going to use blocks to demonstrate, and we're going to work our way up to standing as well. But let's bring the right foot in between the arms, the hands or the blocks. And lining up the knee with the ankle. Now, staying here with your props, with your hands on your props and opening the heart, keeping integrity in the neck, having an energetic lift through the inner thighs to stabilize and balance. You can stay here or lift the arms and continue to breathe. Find that Ujjayi breath if you need to. One more breath. And on the exhale, bring the hands down to the blocks, moving the right foot back and bringing the left foot up to the front. So again, opening the heart, gravity taking the lower body towards the floor, and the upper body is lifted. You can keep the hands on the blocks or inhale, arms up. Inhale and exhale. We're going to start to work our way up to standing. So if you're using blocks, they can help you on the way up. Be coming into a bit of a forward bend and rolling up like a rag doll. Stacking the vertebra, opening the heart.
Today's standing sequence will begin in mountain pose. So remembering all of the micro alignments, lifting the toes and laying them down, spread apart, balancing on the four corners of your feet, lifting the thighs, engaging them so that it energetically lifts the knees, engage the abdominal muscles, and slightly tuck the tailbone forward, shoulders away from the ears and on the back, chin parallel to the floor. And feel the energetic lift from the top of your head. Stay in mountain pose for a breath. From mountain pose, stepping the feet apart, we'll begin some warrior and triangle standing poses. Some of these poses will be familiar to you from previous videos, but in today's practice, we'll place an emphasis on the heart chakra. So starting with the hands in Namaste, pivoting the right foot forward and lifting that left heel, pivoting it back just a bit, and turning so that your hips are lined up with the short front edge of the mat. On an inhale, lift your arms, and exhale, bend that front knee, lining the knee up with the middle toe, coming into warrior one. Nice open heart, and take 2 breaths. Next inhale, bring the hands up. Exhale, hands to Namaste. Inhale, pivoting the left foot, lifting that back heel, facing the short end of the mat, inhaling and exhaling into warrior one on the other side. Opening the heart and taking 2 breaths. Next inhale, come through center. Exhale, Namaste. Inhale, pivot the right foot, lift the back knee. Exhale, inhale here. Exhale, bending that front knee and adjusting the back foot, looking over the front hand, coming to warrior two. Taking 2 breaths and feeling the expanse of your heart chakra. Inhale. Exhale, pivot the feet in the opposite direction. Inhale here. Exhale, warrior two on the other side. Feeling the expanse of the heart and fingertip to fingertip. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands to namaste. Inhale, pivoting the feet, lifting that back heel. Exhale, arms to a T. Inhale, move the hips to the back and the ribs to the front as we come into triangle pose. Using a prop, if that helps you to keep an open heart. I can certainly get closer to the floor, but if I lose the open heart, I'm not getting the best benefit of the pose. So find the expression that works for your body. One more breath. Bending the front knee, straightening the leg, lifting the top arm, coming into peaceful warrior. Stay for a breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to namaste. Inhale, pivot the feet, other direction. Exhale. Inhale, moving the hips to the back, the ribs to the front, and exhaling into Trikonasana on this side. Stay for 2 breaths. Bending the front knee, coming up, straightening the leg, and reaching into peaceful warrior. Exhale, hands back to namaste. Take a breath here. And begin to heel toe or step back to mountain pose. Turn to the side and demonstrate a very basic back bend from the standing position. If you have a regular practice and would prefer to do this pose from the knees or from the belly on camel or bow, please feel free to do so. So making fists if you're in the standing position and placing them right below the waistband. Imagine an energetic rubber band trying to pull those elbows together. On an inhale, lengthen the spine and lift the chest. The chin lifts, but the head does not flop back. Keep integrity in the neck. Take a breath. Next inhale, bring the chest back to neutral, the heart back to neutral. Exhale. We'll begin to work our way back down to the floor to continue our heart opening series. Following the more active standing portion of today's practice, we're going to go into some forward bending, twisting, and a restorative child's pose. So turn lengthwise on the mat, and if you have a rolled blanket or towel nearby, you can place it under the knees. Rocking from side to side to find the sits bones. Feet are flexed, and if you have a regular yoga practice, you might choose to do your forward bend without the blanket under the knees. Inhale, reach the arms up, and as you exhale, start to hinge forward from the hips, keeping the heart chakra open and the back flat. Breathing. Feet are flexed and active. And let the hands start to fall down, maybe to the floor, maybe to your ankles, maybe around your feet. Continuing with the heart chakra open for another breath. And on your next exhale, allow the back to round. Allow the head to fall. Continue breathing and surrender into this forward bend. Feeling the stretch, maybe up the lower back as well as across the 4th chakra area of the back. And depending on your hamstrings, you might feel some tightness there. So if you're really feeling tight, again, you might want to use a rolled blanket. Forward bends are positions of surrender. Next inhale, walk the hands up. And let's transition down onto the mat. So opening the arms to a T, and actually I'm going to bring a block over to support my twist. Placing the left toes near or on the right knee, and taking the right hand to help your knee come over to the right. Now, doing those small articulations. If your knee needs to be up higher for you to feel like you have both shoulders on the floor, then don't sacrifice the twist to get the knee closer to the floor. You might want to keep that right hand on the knee, almost acts as a lever, or you can have both arms coming out into a T and looking straight ahead or looking over the left shoulder, and breathe. Twists are wonderful positions for the third and fourth chakra. Allow your heart to shine. On the next inhale, knees come up, rolling onto the back, bringing the right foot in and stretching the left foot along the floor. I have some blocks over on this side as well to support my twist. So placing the right toes on the left knee and beginning to twist. Again, I'm going to support my pose and lay my shoulders down on the floor, my arm out to a T, and again looking straight ahead or looking over the right shoulder. Using the breath to come back to the moment, and maybe a mantra. I open my heart to the present moment. On the inhale, roll onto the back. Let's place both feet on the floor and come into a nice hip stretch. So placing the left ankle on the right knee, lifting the right foot and threading your hand through that opening. We call this threading the needle. Flexing both feet, making sure that your heart is shining. Keeping the sacral area on the floor and feeling the natural curve in your spine. And breathe. Next exhale, let the right foot fall to the floor and then followed by the left, placing the right ankle up by the left knee, lifting the left foot, threading the needle, grasping behind the thigh or around the knee, above the knee, flexing the feet, shining the heart, and breathing. Letting go of the left foot as both feet fall to the floor. Rolling to the side. in coming up to reposition into a supported restorative child pose. So I'm going to grab a bolster. A couple of nice firm pillows would work as well. Again, if this position is uncomfortable for your knees, certainly lifting onto some blocks is an option. I'm also going to stack a block underneath my bolster to raise it up a little bit more. If you don't need the blocks, the hips will come back by the feet. And just begin to fall forward onto the prop. Maybe turning your head in one direction for a few breaths. Completely relaxing into this pose. Finding your breath. Turning the head in the opposite direction to get another equal stretch up both sides of the neck. And you can pause the video and spend a little extra time here if this position is calling to you. Pushing myself up. Moving the props off to the side. And preparing for today's Shavasana. I'm going to place that blanket again under my knees for today's final relaxation. Coming down onto the back. Lifting the heart, laying the shoulder blades down on the floor. Palms are down by your sides and facing the ceiling and the feet. And just fall out. Today's final relaxation will enjoy an amazing sound bath performed by Samaritan music therapist Sara Joy Kuhlen. Settle in, let your eyes flutter shut if you'd like, and enjoy this experience.
share this love, for you see that love heals others while it heals me.
Placing the feet on the floor, rolling onto the side, taking 2 more breaths. Push yourself back up to seated. Hands at the heart center. I allow my heart to feel kindness and compassion for myself and others. Namaste.
Namaste.